Today I'm going to be talking about my best book of the year so far, which is The Appeal by Janice Hallet. I love this book. I thought it was brilliant. It's a real page turner and I really didn't guess the ending at all. Actually, I did have a few suspicions, and I was right about one of the things, but the other thing I was completely just blown away by. I was completely surprised by, and it was such a great twist, and I just love a book with a great twist. So The Appeal is set in a small English village around a community theatre group, or amateur dramatics as we call it here, and it's set around a family called the Haywoods, Helen and Martin at the head. And Martin is the director and Helen is the star of most of the shows at the Fairway Players. And the whole community is kind of centred around this family. The Haywoods are sort of the top of the hierarchy and everyone else really wants to get in with them, which was a really fun dynamic. But then disaster and tragedy strike when Poppy, Martin and Helen's grandchild, is diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer. So Poppy is Martin's son's daughter, and what they have to do is they have to form an appeal to raise money so that she can have access to a rare drug that she needs from America. So the Fairway Players immediately start fundraising and everyone in the village pulls together and the money starts coming in for Poppy's appeal. But as time goes on, it becomes apparent that maybe all is not as it seems, maybe not all of the money is going to the appeal. There's just lots of sort of suspicious things that happen, and it just doesn't seem like everything is how it appears to be. At the same time, the Haywoods doctor, Dr. Patoa, is demanding more and more higher payments into her personal bank account, which is also very suspicious, even though she claims that she's only using it for the medicine from America for Poppy. Then a new member of the Fairway Players and a new member of the village starts asking questions about Poppy's appeal. Now she has a personal history with the doctor Tish Patoa and asking questions about Patoa's true intentions. So the question is it real or is it fraudulent? The entire novel is written as emails and texts messages between the characters, which it's a really original and fun way of doing it, and I really like reading it because I feel like I have insight into all the characters, because you're getting that first person perspective from all of the characters, so you really feel like you're in their head. And also it means that there's a lot of questions because you don't get everything in an email, but you get clues, so you sort of think, oh, why is that person telling them that, but then they withhold the information to another person. And then as the book goes on, you sort of put things together and you really, it's like you are working as the detective. That's what I found really fun about this book. Finally, towards the end of the novel, it's the dress rehearsal for their production of All My Sons. And that's when a murder takes place. And that's the murder that you realise that you're trying to solve. I'm just going to read you the inside beginning insert. Dear reader, enclosed are all the documents you need to solve a case. It starts with the arrival of two mysterious newcomers to the small town of Blockwood and ends with a tragic death. Someone has already been convicted of this brutal murder and is currently in prison, but we suspect they are innocent. What's more, we believe far darker secrets have yet to be revealed. So you realise that the appeal has double meaning. It's the appeal because it's Poppy's appeal, but it's also the appeal because the whole point of the novel is that these detectives are going through the emails and you are going through the emails and texts because you are also the detective, which I really like that inclusive vibe. And the whole point is that someone has been convicted for the murder, but that's not the real killer. That's so you actually end up finding out who the real killer is, and it's a great twist. I think another thing that I loved about this book are the characters. That's probably the biggest thing I loved about this book, is the characters. I mean, obviously the murder mystery element is fun, but I personally really like very vivid characters who I feel are real and I can get to know, get inside their heads. So, and I think this book does that really well. There's one particular character I like, Isabel, or Izzy. She's a nurse, she's a people pleaser, she just wants everyone to really like her. Unfortunately, most people think she's a bit strange, and but she's always trying to win them over, and she's quite lovable, really, I think. It's quite a long book, but I quite enjoy taking my time with it, you know, just dipping in and out. I've heard some criticism that because it's not set in chapters, it becomes a bit overwhelming and there aren't sort of set sort of gaps or breaks, but I personally didn't find that a problem because, you know, the emails are quite short, so it's quite easy to just stop after one, I found, and then to come back. Yeah, so I would really recommend this book. It's a really fun read. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and I will see you next time.